Mm-hmm. All right, so as you can see by the title, like I don't even know how to begin. I don't even know how to begin this video. I just had like a really interesting day, and I like ranted to two people. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna rant to you guys. Okay, I don't know. It just okay. So I do love my community. I really do. But there's something, it's like not a perfect community. It really isn't. There's like a lot of things that I see that happen around here where I'm just like, really? Really? Okay. So now I take my child to a particular, we have like a whole bunch of parks here in my residence. Okay. But we go to this particular park because it's new, it was just put in last year. It's really nice park, and also it has sprinklers there and everything, and it's just nice. It's nice. Okay. Okay, but I had went there with my son today to the park. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. Okay, so um, but after about, I don't know, about like a half an hour, a whole bunch of kids were starting to come in. And I was just like, oh, it must be like the after school program. That they, not the after school, but the summer program that they have here now. It's basically like the after school, but it's now summertime, so they call it after like a summer program. Okay. Anyways, all these kids were like coming to the park, and I'm like, great. Now like my son has somebody to play with. Good. Okay. Um, I decided to like lounge out on the bench, okay, and I did. I was laying down. I was like, well, I was a little tired and I wanted to get a little bit of sun on my face, whatever. So I'm laying there, and um, I'm overhearing like these kids. Number one, now, these kids were in the grill area. The grill area is locked off, so they basically climb over the fence, and they were like hanging out in there. It was, I don't know. I wasn't paying that much mind to it. I know that like with this after school program, the summer camp program, I don't know, like the staff doesn't pay too much. They're not like too like firm with the children, whatever. I didn't say anything. That's not my problem. I'm not. It's not my job. They want to go in there, and you're okay with it, Miss Staff. Then okay. But I'm sitting there, I'm laying there, and I'm overhearing the conversation that these kids are having with each other, and there was like a mixture of boys and girls, and the girls were like, "Ew, gross! I saw your wee wee. Ew, gross!" And then the boys were like, "Ew, why you looking at it? Why you looking at it?" And then they were. I'm like, I overheard this, but still, I'm like kind of like cocking the eye, like, but again, this is not my problem. It's not my stuff to get involved with. But then I heard them over say like, "Ew, he's peeing behind. He's peeing, right?" And at that point, I'm just like, "Oh, okay." So I had turned around. I'm like, I'm just staring at that. I'm like, then I look back over to the staff. I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, and I'm looking at the kids. Clear. I was waiting for them to like say something. Nothing. Okay, so I'm like, okay, this is not gonna do. So I get up from the bench. Well, I sit up from the bench. Okay, and I'm like, okay, kids, get from underneath there. I'm like, stop. I'm like, I was like telling them very firmly because you have to be firm. Okay, but I was like, get from behind there. Do not pee behind it. I was like, people cook on those grills. They weren't peeing in the grills, but it was like, you have to see the grill. It's like a big, gigantic grill. But the boy had went behind the grill, okay? But still, like, it's disgusting. It's just really gross, Because, like, if I never saw that, I'd probably be cooking my food on that grill, like, and fully not knowing that there's like pee behind the grill. Like, I don't know, I don't want pee like any urine anywhere near my food. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gross. Thank God we have like tons of other grills. I'll be using those ones, but not that one. But anyways, I told the boys, I'm like, come from behind there. You're not supposed to be peeing on there. I was like, people cook their food on there, and then like the little girl started like chimed in. And she's like, excuse me, but he wasn't peeing in the grill. He was peeing behind the grill. He was peeing behind the grill. And I looked at her and I'm like, don't talk back to me like that. And she was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, thank you. Now everybody, get from out of there. You see the doors are locked. Get from out of there. Let's go. Okay. Then soon after, now it was nuts. Still, the staff said absolutely not. There was two staff members. One was like lounged out on like this netting. It's like a netting on the climbing thing. She was lounged out on that. The other one's sitting on the table, like a table down from me. And I'm talking to the kids, but still the staff is not saying anything, right? So the kid comes around, right? All the kids are coming around, like, ew, like he was peeing in a bit. So like the staff clearly knows that he was peeing behind the thing. And you know what she said? She was like, that's okay, blah, blah, blah. And then that was kind of washed out. Why was it washed out? Because now I'm hearing another child cussing up a storm. Like he said like two cuss words too many. And I'm just like looking at the stuff. I'm like, to the stuff. I'm like, really? Then a fight broke out. There was like these two girls fighting with each other. And that's when she decided, oh, I'm going to get up and go ahead and chase after them. Maybe because I was sitting there. I don't know, but it was weird. Her arm was being like swung around and like held back like that. I'm just looking. I'm like this, like. Then meanwhile, there's like this big, you have to see the park, but it's like this really, really big arch. And when I say it's probably like, I don't know, like 15 feet in the sky. Like, okay. Then the kid is like holding onto this big beam and he's like swinging with his feet, swinging like freely. And I'm like, oh my God. And this is like happening. It's like one after the freaking other that was happening. I was just like, what is going on? I'm like, I felt like I had to like be up on the kid. I was doing her job and she sat there the whole time. Now, about the peeing thing, that like really, really pissed me off. Okay. I thought that was just really disgusting. It's like, I don't know, it's just really disgusting. Okay. But like, here's the thing. It wasn't that kid's fault because the two, the oldest staff woman, now the other girl that's hired on, she's clearly like, it's a summer job, okay? Because we do hire teenagers for summer jobs, that type of thing, okay? Here in Boston, we do that, okay? But we also do that in our community. So she had gotten a job that, in the daycare or in the summer camp program, okay? And so the one who's there all year round, she was like, could you please take so-and-so to the bathroom? She was like, oh, I'm not allowed to take the children to the bathroom. Like, to cross the little, even if it's like a small street. I don't know. That don't make any sense to me. If she's responsible enough to be watching over children, she's responsible enough to take the child to the bathroom. But anyways, she was like, I'm not allowed to take the kids to the bathroom. And she was like, oh, you can go take them to the bathroom. And I'm like, she's like, I'm not allowed to do that. So the girl had finally got up and they were having a private conversation. I didn't hear that, but then that was it. They both sat down on the bench, on the table, and nothing was said. That's when the boy was like, screw this, I have to go to the bathroom. He went behind the thing and he peed. I was just like looking at them like this the whole time. I'm like, yeah. So I got cut off, but that kid swinging on. Can you imagine it? Imagine it. So like my son is 6 feet tall. Imagine two of him lengthwise plus 2 more feet. Like it's that high, and that little kid, he's super short. He's super short. Like he's a little kid, and he's like swinging from the. All I can do, you guys, was like me being a mama, like this is just how our brains work. But like I'm sitting there, I'm visualizing how this kid is going to fall. Okay, so I'm like visualizing he's going to slip off that bean and he's going to like fall, whack his head on the second bean below him because he was that high. We had 1 bean, 2 beans, right? That's tall enough. And I'm like, then he's gonna fall flat down. Then I was just like so astounded. Now, I don't know if I had mentioned this part. I don't think I did. Then we also have like on the benches, we have like these two umbrellas, but they're metal umbrellas, metal poles, these big metal. It's supposed to like keep, shade on the benches. Okay. This is like for picnics, the grills and everything. The girl was holding on to the metal umbrella, right? And she's swinging halfway around because the teacher is sitting like right underneath the shade because, oh, she has to stay in the shade, can't get too much sun. So like the girl is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like swinging. So I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And like that I'm visualizing. I'm like, that girl is her hands are going to slip off of that. She's going to fall forehead first into the metal picnic table. And I'm like, ambulances are going to be called. Like, guys, like it was that nuts. It was just really, really crazy. I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. And then for her to like not even take that kid to the bathroom, I mean, that is just very like, I don't know. Like you're forcing that child to hold his pee until anyways, so tomorrow I have no other recourse, but I'm gonna have to go and make a complaint about it because like I am like she did that in front of me. She knows that I'm like active in the community, like you know what I mean. Like I know the people, like the head honchos there, and I'm comfortable speaking with them and whatever. But like I'm gonna have to go and speak with the person who runs that daycare summer camp. I'm gonna have to go speak with her because like it well, I don't know. I just take what just, I'm just like totally astounded that that staff woman, older woman, not too old, she's about my age, maybe even 5 years younger, who knows? But she's sitting there the whole time and she wasn't doing her job, and I just feel like watching children is so extremely important. That's why I like people are like, "Ooh, Miss Apple, are you gonna have any more kids?" I'm like, "Hell no, I'm not having no more kids. I love babies. God, I love babies, but I'm not having no more. Why? Because it's like such a huge ass responsibility. They have to be. It's just like it's such a huge responsibility. This woman was hired on to to watch the lives of other people, little people, children. You know what I mean? And she was just letting these kids run amok, amok. I was just like, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, but tomorrow I'm gonna have to like go down to the office and I'm gonna have to like, make a formal complaint because, I don't know. That was done in front of me. Can you imagine what happens like when nobody else is around? I don't know what the hell happens. You know what I mean? These kids, they've gotten the notion somewhere that it's okay to run amok. And I'm pretty sure it's because there was like one adult staff member, all the other ones were teenagers. Uh-huh. At that park today. Now, it's just and I'm not saying like all the staff members because there's like a few staff members I actually know that they're really good workers. Okay, they're up on it. But from what I saw, with people always ask me like my kids like, oh, woo, there it goes. Um, Sorry, there's a helicopter. It's probably coming from the hospital. Um, I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. Okay, so on to the next rant. Now, this guys, you're going to be like, oh my god, that just okay. So I don't. Okay, quite a while ago, I've told you guys that I was taking a sewing class, and then I told you a big rant about something that happened at the sewing class, and that I'm choosing not to go anymore. And I didn't go. I didn't go for 3 weeks. Okay, but then I was called like by somebody who attends that class who I actually really really like. Okay. And she had explained to me, she was like, listen, people are not coming to the class, and um, uh, Miss J, who's the teacher of the class, she's in risk of losing that job because if there's people are dropping out, da da da. We us regulars, we need to like show up, show the support. Like we need nice programs like this in our community. Blah blah blah. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go back to the class. Um, let's do this. Okay, so I rejoined the class and everything was going okay. It was like kind of like same bull crap, whatever. But this is not what this rant is all about. Okay, now, okay. So remember how I had told you, like, well, I was having difficulty anyways because people were going twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. Fridays is the only day I can go. Tuesdays I can't, and that's where a lot of the people were. They were learning how to sew, so they were more confident in what they were doing, and I wasn't. I was just, like when you go into a class and you don't know what the hell you're doing, so you're kind of like just totally not confident. I'm like, why are these people so confident? And why is it that they're working on alone, and why is it they're have the ability to know what they're doing? I'm like, clearly it's not just oh, finish up your whatever you didn't do on Friday night type of stuff. It's really about you're learning stuff on Tuesday as well. So I was like so far like behind whatever. So now I decided that I'm going to stay in the Friday class, which is the advanced class, but what I'm also going to do, I'm going to take sewing 101. So I just get a refresh course and relearn everything that we learned. But lo and behold, so hasn't everybody else. So like all the advanced class decided that, oh, we're going to do 101. Now in that class there were three brand new people who were taking 101. Now this just like this just like astounded me as well. Now I feel like the regular people who have been going there to the sewing class all along. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of clicky. They're like really we're all used to each other, and I think that like the more you hang out with each other, like the more classes that we have with each other, the more people are just more feel free to like express whatever it is that they want to express. Even some of those things are just it's just not right to say the things that some things that were said to me where and I kind of kept my mouth shut. Like I do speak up a lot, you know what I mean, but like sometimes I don't. Not sometimes I choose my battles, whatever. But like it was just so weird that all this happened because like this week a new class was coming and I was like, you know what, I think I want to talk about some of the things that I feel uncomfortable with in that class, and I just want to like just put it all out there so we can talk about it and get over it. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like, oh, there's some things that are like been bothering me. Like even with the teacher, she's getting too comfortable with her tongue around me. Like, and she's a woman. She should have some self responsibility. Some you know what I mean. But I feel like everybody is just acting. I don't know. Like I feel like everybody's acting not quite right, and everybody's supporting that not quite right behavior. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, that was my thing that I had to deal with. Okay, but then that attitude was taken with this brand new 101 class. Okay, and we had three new students today, and so they're sitting there, they're so excited. One of them is just so excited. I was laughing because like when somebody else is so happy, it's kind of contagious, and I was just laughing along with her. She's just so happy. She's like, oh my god, I'm selling. Like, it's just so funny, right? It was cute. It was funny. Um, yeah, but then like we had another one who's like actually in a wheelchair. Now this is where like it really begins, okay? um this video is gonna like be forever, so I'm gonna try to like hurry it up, okay? Okay. So now I heard like the person who actually put the group together, like I don't know, there was like some issues with like a financial thing. I didn't put my 2 cents in it because that's between them two. Like I heard that there was getting a little heated, heated enough for me to like put my eyes on them, like it caught my attention. But then, like when I heard what they were talking about, I had said to myself, and apparently, because after we had finished the class, a few other people had the same idea. Like, there's a time and a place for everything, and to have a financial conversation was that in class was just not a place to have it. But on top of that, like, so it's mid class, right? Class is almost over. So we're talking about putting together a field trip. So that field trip, been on multiple field trips with that. So basically, it's just you guys going out to sewing stores, or like three different sewing stores that we usually go to pick up like any materials that we need. Da da da. Um, but then it was said to this one woman who's in a wheelchair, you can't go. Like, long story short, is like basically you can't go because the the van is not wheelchair accessible. And I also want to say this is that we just got a brand new van that is wheelchair accessible. Okay, so so it was asked like, well, why can't we take the van that's wheelchair accessible? And they said, hey, we're not going to do that because number one, it costs money to find somebody to drive that van. Number one, number two, the bigger the van, the more money it's going to guzzle up. So yeah, we're just going to take the small van. So sorry. Well, if you want to give us money, we'll pick something up for you. And I don't know. Like, I was just like, oh my God. And it was like said with attitude too. It was like, oh, but, and then like also like, you're not going to ruin this for us who can go. And I was just like so astounded. So it has the other lady who's new first day here. She was like, that is discrimination. She was like, and that's not right with that attitude that you're giving her. Like, it's just not right. Like, if you're going to put a field trip together for the class, then it should be for everybody. It should, especially if we have a van that is for taking people who are in wheelchairs. And so the response was is like, well, don't mess it up for us. And I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, I'm sitting there like, ugh. Now, like, you guys know, okay, like, there's different disabilities, but I have a disabled child. Do you know what I mean? He has autism, stuff like that. And I'm just like thinking, like, I don't want my son to ever be treated like that, to be excluded, made to feel like they're unwanted, that people that you're not worth being accommodated for, like, or something for something that you can't help. You can't help. Especially I'm getting kind of emotional about that, but this was happening. This woman was being discriminated with. Like, if you're going to offer a field trip, then it should be for the whole class, especially if it's possible. Why buy the van if it's a gas guzzler? Why buy the van if you have to find a driver to drive it? The van, it was bought for people like this lady. And I don't know, like, people were just so rude to her, so rude to her. And okay, so now quickly, so class is over. I go out into the kitchen and I go like this. I'm like, woo woo, like, I don't know. I'm like, is it we're gonna eat tonight? And so the woman who I had issues with the first time when I left for those 3 weeks, she goes like this. She was like, and I like. Guys, like, I totally don't have a on my shoulder. I'm not always looking over my shoulder for the next hurt or anything like that. I'm just a happy person. Like, I'm not trying to, when somebody is rude, I don't always catch that it's rude. You know what I mean? I don't always catch it. So I didn't catch it in the moment, but she goes like this. She was like, oh, did you bring something? And I'm like, no. She was like, well, there's no food for you tonight. There's no food being served up in here tonight. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave. Now, this woman has been nice to me lately, so I don't know. Like, she's like a trap. It's like you don't know when she's gonna like change up. I don't know. I don't know if she's bipolar or what's that, because it's weird. She's super nice, and then like the next minute you just don't know what you're gonna get. Like, it's just crazy. Okay, but anyways, yeah, so I just left. But then I had saw some people out in the front, in the courtyard. So I had sat and I talked with them. But so the conversation went with like, I can't believe that they were discriminating against her, blah, blah, blah. The woman who was in the wheelchair, she was so hurt. She was so hurt. Like, like, she felt like the entire class she was being really, really disrespected. She felt hurt. She felt excluded. She felt like she wasn't supposed to be there. Now, I've been made to feel that way, but this must be hurting double because, she's being meant to be excluded in a way just because of something that she can't help. She's in a wheelchair, okay? And I don't know. So we all had just supported her. We actually stayed out in the courtyard for 3 hours and we're just talking and stuff like that. We're trying to make her feel better and on the whole shebang. And I had told her, I said, you know what? I said, this was just so wrong. It's so wrong. I was like, the person who said I consider this person like a friend of mine, you know. So when I go speak, I feel like I need to go support this woman who was just so totally disrespected. I am going to say something. I'm going to say, listen, if classes are, if field trips are being offered, then everybody should be able to have access to get on that ride to go to these field trips and not feel excluded for just because you're handicapped. And I'm going to have to say that. They're probably going to ask me, well, who said what? Who said this? I'm going to like, you figure that out. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, you figure that out because I'm not trying to drop dime, but I do need to speak up, like saying that this happened to this woman and you need to rectify it. If that means that, oh, field trips are over, then that's unfortunate. But that's, hey. Anyways, it was like one of those freaking days, man, that I was just like so pissed off. Like, I was just like, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my, because when that happened in the classroom, you know, they wanted to move it along, get the class started. And yes, I understand that there's a time and place for everything, but that was talked about, like setting up a day when everybody can go. But that one woman in the wheelchair was excluded, and she was told that she's excluded because she can't, you know. They wanted to move it along, change the subject, move it along, get back to the class. But I said, before we get back to the class, because people were, the other woman, she was debating, sticking up for the one in the wheelchair. And I said, before we get going, I just want to say one thing. I agree with you, woman in the wheelchair. I just want to let that be known. I agree with her. Now we can get on with the class. Because I wanted her to know that you're being supported here, you know? So I'm so happy that we all like rallied together. Not those people, but they were rallied together. Oh, and I also want to say, finish up quickly about this. But this video is going to be so long. Quickly, like, yeah, but you know what? They did serve food. We're sitting in there watching them eat, and they know they're sitting there talking about us, and we're sitting out there talking about them. Like, you know what I mean? But I was like, you know, you can keep your food. You can keep your food, okay? Because number one, I'm back on my diet anyways. I can't have pizza. And but anyways, that's not the point. The point was is that they once again, the same woman who did it to me last time try to exclude me again this evening. They're not paying for their food. Like, who's paying for that food? It's being supported by the community. It's being, but like, why is it that I have to bring something? You know what I mean? Like, if I don't have to bring anything, I don't have to bring anything. Not everybody else brings something, but I'm gonna bring something. You know, like whatever. And plus, last time I gave you $5, and you choose to have that meal like on a Tuesday when you know I wasn't gonna be there. I paid for whatever. I don't know. I wish that Miss J was there, but she's on vacation. Like, she would have been astounded by that. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, so that's my rant. That's a long friggin' but rant. I'm gonna let you go. It's another half an hour. Just had to get that off my chest. Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna go speak to two people tomorrow about some shit that I've seen. Sorry, about my French that I seen today. And it's like one. I don't know what time is it. 12:31. I don't know. In the morning right now. I gotta get that off my chest, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later. Mwah, mwah. Love everybody, and see you later. Bye.